Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Perspective. I'm Lisa Ayala with Edinburgh CISD Public Relations, and I'm joined by Dr. Mario Salinas, Superintendent of Schools, and Edinburgh CISD Police Chief Ricardo Perez. So welcome to the show, gentlemen. And today we're going to talk a little bit about security and secure and safe schools. So can we start by having you tell us a little bit about our schools and how safe they are?
Sure. Our schools have been safe ever since 2012, especially when I started here. But most officially in 1995 when we started the police department. Mm-hmm. We've been building on the security process ever since 1995. Mm-hmm. Now, as a result of Sandy Hook in 2012, the superintendent at the time took the initiative to have a safe and secure environment, right? Mm-hmm. So he created an initiative to make sure that we fortify campus safety. So we started with fencing, and we started with surveillance cameras. We also hired an additional 30 plus police officers to cover all elementary schools. So in total, all our school campuses have a certified Texas peace officer ensuring safety for the campus.
And an armed police officer, and that is something that you've said that has been incredibly important, highly visible armed police officers, correct?
Correct. In speaking to parents have two priorities. One, that their children are safe in school, and two, that they have good teachers. And with police on all campuses, at every elementary, and then multiple police at every middle, and multiple police and security guards at every high, we feel that, and then all these fortifications that the chief is talking about, we feel that our campuses are safe. Yeah. There's nothing like having a police officer, an armed officer, certified, on campus, making sure that, ascertaining that the people going onto the campus have legitimate business.
Yes.
Yes.
And all of this in light of what just happened in Uvalde 3 months ago. But this has been a very, very difficult time for that community. We all wore maroon on Tuesday, to kind of stand in support with them as they went back to school. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that have happened since then.
So as a result of what happened in Uvalde, right? Then the media and what we're learning from the law enforcement agencies that are involved in investigating the matter, my condolences to the family once again, and our hearts go out to the kids. And I know it's the first day of school for them yesterday. Right. I know that my son wore a maroon shirt, in honor of them, and we hope to continue that. What we do want is to make sure that our parents are assured that our kids are safe. Now, we've taken a lot more measures with our superintendent here, making sure that he has directives that our doors are locked.
Yes. That
we have additional cameras, that we have the officers that we need, well-trained officers to make sure that they can do their job efficiently, effectively. And that's our initiative. The safety is a priority of our school district right now. Right. The priority of our superintendent, and he's making sure that everybody who works in the school is part of that initiative. It takes a whole group of people to make sure that our schools are safe, our doors are locked, that the parents are assured that when they drop off their child there in the morning, that they're going to be safe and they're going to be highly educated. Right. And that's the superintendent's initiative, and we're going to get it done.
What part of the initiatives right now? I know that Dr. Garza and other staff from Central randomly have been going to campuses at random to see if they can penetrate the campus either through a lax security or through doors that are not locked, or through faulty doors, or through fencing that is not up to par. So we're randomly showing up on campus to check to make sure that the campuses are safe as they can be. In preparation, because the state is going to start auditing our schools. Right. I anticipate that our schools are going to be some of the first to be audited by state staff, on account that we're such a large district, and their goal of the state, the governor, the commissioner, the governor, is that every campus in the state of Texas is audited, and we being so big, right? I'm assuming that we're going to be among the first districts to get audited by inspectors, state inspectors. So we're beating them to the punch. We ourselves auditing ourselves. We're randomly going out there and making sure that our police are on duty as they're supposed to be, sure that our gates are operable as they should,
Sure.
making sure that our doors are locked, that our electronic doors are working, that the cameras. So we are out there. And then the armed officers, they can certainly stop an intruder.
Absolutely.
So we're doing all we can, humanly possible, that we can do to make sure that our students and our staff and our parents are as safe as they can be.
Right.
And you've been doing many trainings this summer.
Right, and what I want the parents to know is that we've been training all summer with what they call the ALERT initiative.
Right.
It's the active shooter training, and we've trained with the Sheriff's Department, DPS. We've trained with Edinburgh Police. Our law partners are involved. If something were to occur, our officers who have trained with these other agencies are able to respond as a unified unit,
I see.
and they're trained the same way, and they've learned from each other to count on each other to neutralize an active shooter, and that's the whole purpose of training. It is what it is. These officers are trained to engage any active shooter, and they've been going through training all summer. So we're as prepared as can be, and I want our parents to know that. And unfortunately, if that were ever to happen, we are as prepared as possible.
And we've been out there with you, Chief, as well, when you all have been out doing your actual trainings and you've gone through all of the different scenarios and you've had your SWAT people out there. We want to touch on that a little bit and how prepared you are with your K-9 units and SWAT team and all of that. We are one of the only districts, or probably the only one in South Texas, that is that prepared. And again, something that the superintendent and the board before him saw as an incredibly important initiative after Sandy Hook. So can you speak to that a little bit and what you all have been going through?
Any SWAT team, by the time they deploy to an active shooter from a different agency, you're talking about half an hour or more.
Sure.
By the time they arrive. Our officers are already on campus. They're already trained, certified, advanced SWAT trained, and they have the resources, right, to make sure that they provide the service that they need to if there is an active shooter. We do have the equipment. We applied for a $365,000 grant, which we believe we're going to get 100%. We're asking for 50 shields, one for each campus, so that the officer can already have that protection that he needs to engage a potential active shooter. And there's other grants that we're going to be applying for when it comes to safety.
Right, right.
Now I know, Chief, that the police have responsibilities once they arrive on campus early in the morning, that they have a checklist of different things that they have to look for to make sure that the campuses are safe.
Yes, sir. So we have what they call post orders.
Okay.
And there's a list of what the officers do for the 8 hours in case we get audited, right? So part of the audit is that as soon as they get there, once the students are in class and the first bell rings, their first priority is to check every door, make sure all the doors are locked.
But they do this every day, not part of the. They do it every day, period.
And they've been doing it every day.
I see.
But now, as a result of the potential audit that's coming, we want to make sure that we have documentation to prove that we're doing that. And we're even going to take it a step further. I want the parents to know that we are in the process of purchasing what they call a check system, where there's a magnetic device and the officer has a wand, and he's going to check each door by putting this little wand, and it's going to register to a computer system that'll print out the date and the time and the latitude and longitude, whatever it covers, to make sure that those doors were checked.
Wow.
Especially during first period that all the kids are in place. So we're assured that they're safe, that our doors are locked, as fortified as possible, and that's the officer's first priority, to making sure that the perimeter and the campus is safe.
Okay.
Yes, and I've been visiting schools since school started, and I can tell you that you can't just walk into the school. The schools are locked. Some schools, to even get onto the property, you have to call ahead so they can open the gates for you. So we're trying to, I'll go to some campuses and I'll see areas where we can improve, and we're improving. But we've come a long way. We've invested upwards of $15 million in fencing, in secure doors, in secure facilities, in cameras. I'm not even talking staff.
Right. But
just
the Raptor
just
system
hardware,
also, right.
the Raptor system to make
Just
sure
even
that
to go
people that
in.
visit are
Yes.
legitimate and they're not criminals.
Sure.
So we've invested significantly. We simply now need to train our officers, train our staff to react accordingly in the event of a intruder. I know you've been training all summer.
Yes, we have, and I tell you what, I'm very satisfied of the initiative that we've done throughout the summer with the fortification of our schools. I have trouble getting into the schools,
Right.
and I advise the principals. I'm so impressed, that I highlighted some of our principals at the principals meeting on how secure the campus is, and I'm very proud of that because if I have trouble getting in, the intruder should have trouble getting in. And our officers are going to continue training. I do know that we're doing the virtual 360 that
Yes.
we highlighted, how they can react to a very hostile situation and how to deal with it. So our officers are going to be very well trained, and we're working with our law partners to accomplish that.
Right, and they should know, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, the virtual 360 is essentially being in a situation where an intruder will pop up in a virtual situation and the officer will be surprised and have to react just like that.
Right. So when an officer trains, it's basically what they call muscle memory.
I see.
If you train just like a football player, if you train them how to catch that football, the officers are going to train how to engage. It's muscle memory. It's learned behavior.
Right.
And practicing makes them that much better.
And we haven't had too much trouble finding officers as well. We lose them to attrition or they relocate. The chief has been able to find officers almost, as fast as they leave.
Now, I do want to mention that I want our parents to be assured we only hire the best.
Yes.
We're not called simply the best for nothing.
Right.
I'm very selective on who we have taking care of our kids. We take our time. We make sure that they're very well vetted, that they're qualified, certified, that they're seasoned officers, and we've been pretty fortunate to have a good group of officers.
Excellent.
You
Well,
know,
that's
and I also want to say that Edinburgh CISD is one of the few school districts in the valley that has police on all campuses.
that's right.
Right now, because of Uvalde, districts are scrambling to find money to put police on all campuses. We've always had them.
Yes.
It's a matter of priorities. I mean, because we all get the same amount of monies for the children, right? But it's a matter of where do you want to spend your monies.
That's right.
If we were able to budget for a police force of almost over 100 staff, that's a large police force.
That is.
Larger than most municipalities in the state of Texas. But it's a matter of where it's a priority for us.
Yes.
And we budget for a police force.
That's right.
It's a priority. Do the district, I don't know why some of the districts don't have it. Now they're scrambling and they want to because of Uvalde. But it's been a priority for us for 10 years.
Yes.
And we budget and we cut in other areas
Sure.
to make sure that we have money for police because parents want safety. They want their children to be safe.
That's what we want for our parents and our students and staff to know.
Don't tell me.
Show me.
Show me.
Exactly.
Show me.
Right. And that's exactly what you've done. So if anybody has questions about any of this, about the police force, about the police department, do they call it and ask questions or?
Feel free to call me. I can answer questions. As many years as I've been doing this, I'll try and get you the answer. If not, I'll get somebody who can.
Okay, terrific. All right, well, we had a great show, and we want to thank you all for joining us on this week's Perspective. And as always, stay healthy and stay safe.